to yank up your rent because they know that you have to pay that because you can't afford to go nowhere else because you can't find nowhere else that's cheaper.
Right.
You know, because everyone always needs a roof. Everyone needs a roof over their head. You have to have somewhere to live. See. Oh, okay, Rose, I must say this. Link 8. Oh my God. Can you imagine, right? See, this is how we have to tell these politicians. If you walk a mile in someone else's shoes, then you are qualified to talk about it with authority because you've been through it, isn't it? Prime Minister David Cameron was challenged to live on the minimum wage. Now, everyone over here in the UK, we all know the minimum wage ain't squat. Okay. And even though next year he reckons they're giving us the living wage, that still ain't good enough. Okay. And it's been too little, too late, far too long in the coming, basically, as far as I'm concerned. It just takes too long to do anything. And he was challenged to live on the minimum wage and volunteer at food banks. Now that I know he definitely, that's a step too far, isn't it? You know, to understand the impact of the proposed Tory welfare cuts. Now, people, before we go into break, this is the question I'm going to ask you, okay? Do you think, A, that Mr. Prime Minister would be able to even last 5 minutes on the minimum wage? Forget challenging him to live on it for a week or a month or all them foolishness. Now, remember, you have to take all his credit cards off him now. And he ain't allowed to ask no family members for no help. Because remember, this is in the real world. We can't ask no one when you're broke. Most of the people around you are probably broke too. You can't ask them. You ain't got no credit card to fall back on. You can't go to mummy and daddy. The bank of mum and dad don't exist. Okay? So, do you think he, as Prime Minister, could lower himself to A, live on the minimum wage, and B, how long do you think he would actually last?
And those people that, and we'll talk about it more after the break, but if you have to do something, you can. And so that part of it, I believe that if someone has to do something, as we are tasked to do, we can do it. And he could do it, but is it going to make him, he needs to understand the anguish and the agony that everyday people go to. That's what he needs to see.
That's why we want him to do it. That's why we're challenging him to do it. And remember, he can't cheat now. Like I said, you can't ask for no help, no credit card, no nothing. No one ain't allowed to give you no money. When the money done, is done, end of. Forget it. Finito, you go to bed. If you don't eat, tough. That's how it is for millions of families and children.
That's real life. So,
that's right. So we want him to feel that so he understands, okay, I didn't get to eat my big T-bone steak tonight because there was no money to buy it. Couldn't cook it, couldn't eat it, I had to go hungry. So, and link 9 again. Apparently, we had the famous words of MP Ian Duncan Smith, who said in 2013, people, we are posting at ask-avani-show. He said that he could live on benefits. That's all I have to say to that. Like I said, wouldn't last 5 minutes. I don't even think he would be able to resist spending that little £70+ whatever it is now, to not get in a cab to take him to his favourite restaurant round the corner from the House of Commons. Because, hello, that's how much it probably costs just to get in a cab. So that's a week's money blown in the space of 2 seconds. People, you know what to do. At Ask Avani Show, we are going to take a break. And there's a gentleman here who I'm sure you have heard on advertisements over here in the UK, Mr. Lunch Money Lewis, because he said he's got bills. And we got bills too. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy. Hi, this is Avani. You're tuned in to the Ask Avani Show podcast on the Get Global Network. How did it all go so wrong? I thought we were... Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome back. This is the Ask Avani Show. I hope you're enjoying today's show. And just in case you have not been with us throughout the show, I'll just remind you what we've been talking about so far. Tax credits, the living wage, homelessness and politics. Is the UK government just trying to make hard-working, low-earning families and homeless people suffer even more just to balance their political budget books? That has been today's question. And you guys know I do have a bee in my bonnet about these types of things. So, yes, I decided that we were going to share this with you. I have been wanting to do this show for a long time. Now, K-Rose, OMG, I want to know what you think about this, right? Because I put this in the show. When I read this, I just thought, it is a lippy! Link 15. One of the MPs, Jeremy Hunt. Now, already know that Jeremy Hunt is taking a lot of flack at the moment. Now, he is the health minister at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. He is the one that the junior doctors keep giving flack because they're saying, listen, Jeremy, right, you don't seem to understand. We are not happy with the way that you're handling the NHS and its finances, okay? So we are going to make a stand. Remember, we talked about this the other day, didn't we, Keros? So now, I saw something that relating to today's topic, I saw something that he had apparently article that he had said he was condemned for saying that tax credit cuts will teach the British how the Asian and US have a good work ethic. Now, do you not see, in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, isn't that considered highly inflammatory? And don't you think that's going to put people's backs up?
Okay.
Isn't that unbelievable?
We're supposed to, the United States is showing people a good work ethic.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's what he was trying to say. Because he was saying that tax credits, basically he thinks that people should have the tax credit cuts because he thinks that when people get tax credits, it makes them lazy. So basically, he's saying that if we get it, it's going to teach the British that you have, because the Asians apparently and the US have a better work ethic. That's what he was trying to say to us to make us feel bad as British people.
Well, maybe he's saying that the Asians and the people in the U.S. get worked and cheated out of their money. That's basically what he's saying.
There you go. Or worked into the ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's saying.
People taking advantage. Okay, so that's fine. You want people to be taken advantage of? No. You know, I think in Europe we do actually work quite hard and we do work long hours as well, and we do not get the recompense and remuneration that we should. Okay. I.e., they don't want to pay us!
But that's the basis, and that is something that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned because that's just something I believe. It's something that has been proven. The basis for capitalism is for those people who own the businesses to continue to make money. That's the basis for capitalism.
Yeah, but you can still make money and pay people.
But that's the thing. You can be a capitalist and be fair. And thus the problem. The people who are the people that own these companies, the people that run the government, they're not fair when it comes to people that don't have as much money as they do. And they don't care. It's the trickle-down economics thing doesn't work. If you are a millionaire, unless you are someone with a good soul, like this past week, the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, but think about it now, and this is something that I wanted to mention. If he can give away 99% of his fortune, which comes out to be about $45 billion, think about that.
Wow.
If 99% of your fortune is $45 billion, you still got about $1 billion.
Hello?
To live
You will never go broke unless you give it all away, because he cannot spend that in his lifetime as a normal working day, isn't it? You can't.
It's impossible.
Yeah, what's he going to buy? That because he's going to have to probably buy like 17, how much millions of worth of homes to be able to fritter away that money. He could probably buy people a home and it wouldn't even notice that he's bought someone a house, bought and paid for, no mortgage, no nothing, bought and paid for, and not just no little hut, you know.
Right.
I'm talking a proper home with at least 6 to 8 bedrooms and how much bathroom, a proper substantial palatial home for however many people, and he wouldn't even make a dent in his money because he's that rich. Those types of people, Bill Gates and people like that, they have got so rich. And it's great that they do the philanthropy and all that. It's fantastic because, they say give back. I'm happy that people do that. But he's lucky. He will never have to work again if he don't want to.
Well, please. There is a number for most people that there is a number I calculated basically for myself that once I hit this number, I really don't have to do anything but breathe because of my lifestyle. I don't go and spend all this money on this and this and this. I'm not going to buy a Porsche every week. Right. There's a number where, because that number, even if it's in the bank and just growing interest, I can live off that number for the rest of my life and not have to do anything but go to the restroom every day and eat.
Yeah, that's it. You can just stop around and you will never have to worry about it again. Everything will be like automatic because you'll be like, okay, I'll set up all the direct debits to pay the bills and I don't even have to talk to you again. Unless you're trying to fleece me and I don't want to, but it's not, it's not a definitive. It's not like I have to watch this and watch that. I have to watch the pennies. No, because you're doing very well. You're happy, and it's you and your family can live and be fine, and no one ain't gonna be trying to mess with you. Then you ain't gonna have no bailiff.
But those people that are, if you have more people that think like Zuckerberg and that think like Bill Gates and the other person that I've forgotten his name for Berkshire Hathaway, but if you think like that and you are a billionaire and you're giving away your money to the good of humanity, if you took, even if you just took 5% of all people that have control of the top 5% of the wealth in this world, if they did that, there wouldn't be poverty, there wouldn't be homelessness, really.
No, this is the thing. That's how I know it's possible. People should not be homeless. People should not go hungry. The countries that they I don't like that term third world, but anyway, that's what they call them, innit? The third world countries, as they call it. There should not be all these shortages of food and water and all this. It's just ridiculous. It's really, skewed the way that things happen, and the West is the richer, and all these, African countries and Indian countries and so on are always so poor. But these Western countries have gone into such countries and just completely pillaged and taken all their things of worth that they could have used to make their economy better, so that everyone was okay. But other people just seem to just go in and just take it away, and then they profit from it. But then they say, "Oh, we want to help you." Hello, if you hadn't done that in the first place, they wouldn't need the help, would they?
Well, do they in the UK? Do they have this mentality from people that have money that, hey, I worked to get my money, and if you worked hard to get your money, that you could be like me? All you need to do is work hard. Yeah, that's a bunch of crap.
And it really annoys me when trust me, when you're saying it now, I'm sitting there thinking, there's things and certain business people thinking, you know what, okay, let me put it like this. Yes, we understand you worked hard. Of course you worked hard, but that doesn't entitle you to sort of shut your eyes and not see that there are others who may never get the chance to do what you have done and be successful in the same way, money-wise, financially, and be okay. Not to say that just because you work in a lower wage that you don't work hard. I'm sure a lot of these people work damn hard, and they're just not getting the money that they need because whoever they work for doesn't want to pay them, or they can't afford to pay them a proper wage. But it's a trickle down effect, isn't it? If more companies were encouraged and could afford to do it, then more people wouldn't suffer the way that they do. Well, and it frustrates me.
It's very frustrating. It's very, and it even goes to the point here in the States. We have a lot of corporations that don't want to pay as much in taxes. So they will say, let some company in now Scotland is a big place where it's happening. They'll have their company based in Scotland so that they won't have to pay the United States tax rates.
Yeah, a lot of companies do that. Should we name and shame?
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm talking about.
Several. But that, to me, it goes back to the same thing. We would have less unemployment in the United States if they employed more people from the United States. So you have the bee in the bonnet, I got to burn my butt, I guess. I don't know. But if you, as a business entity, put money back into your communities, you would do well for the community, and that community would buy things within the community, and your community would flourish and everything would be great. But those people who just want to make more, increase the value of the stock and increase the dividends that they pay out because they're the CEOs and the CFO, that's the problem.
Well, okay, we understand that that's your bottom line as those people, CFOs, and, we understand that is their bottom line. But hello, you can still be charitable and give back and still increase your bottom line. You don't have to be solely greedy and say, okay, well, I'm just going to keep all the money for myself. You could give back and you could make a significant difference into many, many people's lives and still be an extremely profitable company. I mean, I know as a rule in the business world, that doesn't really go hand in hand in their mindset, but it's actually doable. Well, look at Mark Zuckerberg. He's showing that it's doable. If he's going to give, how much you say, 99%? Hello, man's still loaded. Some of us can't hope to see billions in our lifetime, and he's still going to have a lot of money left after he's done that. So that just goes to show you.
But it's like if I said, okay, Avani, you have to live off £500 a year, okay? You
Okay.
just got to, okay?
Right.
Not £500, I mean 500,000, excuse me. If
Right.
I told you, I'm sorry, all you can live off of is £500,000 a